Was I mute that whole time?
I couldn't hear anything till just now.
Oh my God. Okay. Monique is in the building. We're just gonna go with that.
What up, girl?
I said so much. Oh Jesus. You know what? Whatever. It was all positive. Because I was in it too. I was like looking at myself. Oh my God. I do this all the time. It's horrible. Welcome, welcome, Mama. Lord Jesus.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. All right. We got some questions we want to ask. Little Mama got the things to do today. We're gonna get this done. And again, I want to say thank you for coming on to my platform and blessing us with your presence.
Absolutely.
Boss lady in the building.
You blessed me with your presence when I was just getting tea with Monique going on the weekly thing. So I appreciate you.
See, I don't know. She had her YouTube thing going on, and I was on there on the panel. But as I told her backstage, she didn't know it was a moment for me because in the middle of the panel, my equipment shut off. I couldn't say who my channel was. I was kind of in the beginning stage. My equipment was trash. So she doesn't know that moment for me changed everything for me. I'm a blogger. I'm gonna do that, and I completely got new equipment, and everything. So it was a blessing. But I'm happy to have her on here. So it's kind of a circle, I guess you could say it like that.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna start out with this question. Do you feel that you made the right decision coming back to reality TV?
Oh man, I don't know if any decision that we make is always the right one, but it's definitely a reason behind it. I feel like everything you go through in life is for a lesson. And if you can't see what the lesson is, then you're going to have to do it all over again. So I definitely learned some things coming back this time around. I do feel like anything that I do, I'm going to give it my all. And I gave it 110, 120%. I'm always going to give you all me. It's going to be real. It's going to be raw, unfiltered. Except for in reality TV, it's edited. So
yes, 100%. I know that. Yeah. The Love and Marriage Huntsville cast. And I know I've asked this question before, but did you get along? Did y'all kind of talk because you was the newbies coming in and they were kind of like the OGs? Did y'all have any conversation between you and the cast, positive, like welcome on, or
Yes, there was definitely congratulatory messages. The Scotts definitely reached out. Marceau and Letitia, they were definitely reaching out. I met Melody when I actually filmed Carlos's Nightcap, and she was very warm and welcoming, and we've been in touch since then. So yeah, it was a lot of love. Tiffany reached out. I've chatted with a few of the ladies just in DMs, just quick like congratulations. So that was nice. Kimmy, I believe, messaged me as well saying congratulations when everything first started coming out. So yes, it was a very warm welcome, and I'm grateful. Huntsville is an amazing show, and if it weren't
Mm.
for Huntsville, there would be no DC. So I'm grateful for what they were able to pave the way for us.
100%. I want to get into your oil business. 100% therapeutic essential oils. Am I saying this correctly? Is it Mila Eve or is it? I don't want to say it, Mila Eve
Mila Eve. Yep,
Essentials.
you got it. Yep, Mila Eve Essentials.
Mila Eve. Okay. I wanted you to talk a little more about that because even though you are on this TV show, you are all, like I said, a boss. I love featuring especially Black women who are, doing their thing. So I wanted you to talk briefly about that. Get more information
Yes.
about it because I looked into it today and I was like, wow, she's got it going on.
Thank you. Yes, I have some of my little products here. I sell essential oils, diffusers. This is just one style of my diffusers. I'm all about self care. We have massage oils, bath salts. I have over 60 oils in my store. I'm all about educating people on how to use essential oils, not just trying to sell you a product. You buy it, then it just sits there. So they can be used for so many different
Mhm.
things, from breathing, better sleep, ADD, ADHD, focus issues, anything you can think of when it comes to bug bites, insect repellents. Like, you have an essential oil for just about everything. And on my website, not only do we sell you the oils, but we actually have profiles for each oil. So you understand what the oil's properties are, what it's good for, whether it's sinuses or headaches. And then we show you how to use the oils. So it's all about education. It's all about knowing what they're for, and then offering you another alternative to just feeling like a whole person so that you can actually get through life
Hmm.
without having all of these issues. Get you some good rest.
Yes.
You can be productive,
Yes.
all that good stuff.
So much is going on right now in the world with these different things going on. These oils are probably actually right on time. We need
Yeah,
something. There's just a lot of issues out there. It's scary, actually, but you know what I'm saying with that.
absolutely. And we got you
I
covered. I
also
mean,
want you to. Oh, I'm so sorry,
everything.
Mama. I want you also to get into your
There you go.
podcast as well because even though I have my kids are not young or anything, but I just remember being a young mother and having to deal with kids at a small age. There really wasn't a whole lot. It was small podcasts here and there, and not Black women doing it. Honestly, mothers doing podcasts, and I think this is a wonderful thing. I want you to speak about this as also.
Yes, Not for Lazy Moms is a community that actually started as a Facebook page, turned website, turned podcast. And the reason I started the company is because I felt as though I'm a person that has always babysat my nieces, not my nieces, but my cousins, and I call them nieces and nephews, but they're really my little baby cousins. Growing
Hmm.
up, I was always that babysitter. So I felt as though when I had children that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna know what to do. There was so much that I did not know and that no one told me about. And I'm like, why aren't women sharing all of the details? What happens after you push the baby out? How long it
Hmm.
takes for you to actually get your waistline back? Nobody's talking about this. And then once you start having children, some days you're like, I love these babies. And some days you're like, oh my God, I cannot stand them. Why is no one
Yes.
talking about this? So
Yes.
the whole website, the whole podcast was about just being real, being able to confess what it is you're going through, and also to offer different tips on how to get by. A lot of women don't share. So this platform was
Yep.
created so that people felt comfortable in a non-judging way to
Hmm.
share what it is they go through, share how they get by, and then encourage each other so that we can do better. If one mom went through it or a dad went through it and it was a struggle, share your struggle so the next person doesn't have to. So that's what it's all about, and it's been an amazing journey for the platform. All about networking and empowering and uplifting.
It's a beautiful thing because look, I remember it was a while ago. They college kids, but I still remember there were struggles. I knew many, and no one did talk about that. We have a lot of tragic results. I feel like because there was not a whole lot of conversation. So I
Right.
feel like you doing this and having this platform and having this space, I just think it's a beautiful thing. When I heard about it and looked at it, I was like, wow. There's just so many mothers. I feel like they got put in a position where they put them the position that they were in that something tragic happened. Maybe they had a conversation, they had an open platform, maybe it would have been a different result. So that's why I really, really love the message that's behind it.
Thank you.
Yes. Welcome again, guys, to the you just came to the chat. We have the queen, Monique Samuels is in the building from Love and Marriage DC. Y'all make sure y'all follow all of her social media. I have my Demita, my mod, who is also putting all of her links in the chat. Of course, I have some of her links going across the screen as well. So let's continue on. Let's talk about how you are a radio personality. Oh my goodness, how is that experience compared to being media, reality TV? It's got to be like completely different.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I've been up since 4, y'all.
Jesus.
I wake up
Oh
at 4
Lord.
a.m. every day, and I absolutely love everything about it. I love it because it's just raw. It's real.
Mm.
There's only a few things we have to watch out for when we're on the radio, and that's more so profanity, you know?
Right.
Other than
Gotcha.
that, yeah, I'm able to share my real truth, my opinions. I feel like people who have listened to the show who don't know me, they're like, wow, I get a better sense of who you actually are, what you stand for, your passions, what you're convicted about, like what, like what really gets you going. You can hear it through the conversation and through the stories that we choose that we actually air every day on the morning show. And it's been amazing. So it's the Good Morning Show on WPGC 95.5, which is our local station here. But people can listen to it as well anywhere using the Odyssey app. So you can download the app, search for the DC radio stations, and you'll see WPGC there. And it has been truly amazing. It's a dream come true. I used to, when I was younger, me and my cousins and my sister, we used to have like a little boom box, and we used to act like we were radio hosts, and we would record ourselves having our own radio show. So
Amazing.
it's full circle. It's full circle. It's what I
Amazing.
live. So I'm really blessed and grateful for the opportunity.
Oh yeah, yes. Because not everybody can say they did something when they played, when they was kids that they wanted to be and they grew up and they actually got to do it. That's an amazing story. It really is.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and jump into some other stuff. Let's talk about the storm that is winter. Okay.
Into the mess. Let's do it. Let's do it. Look at my
Do
car.
you regret? Do you regret bringing her? Let's start there. Do you regret bringing her on the show after everything that has happened?
No, I don't. I don't regret bringing Winter to the show. First of all, I had no idea how much of a personality she was. Like I had no clue. So what people don't understand is I use the word friend in a very loose context.
Okay.
So my version of friend is a person who I know. And then when I put the years on it, then people are using their own definition of friend. You know what I'm saying? So they're thinking about, oh, my homegirl. Like I have a friend who I've been friends with for real since third grade, since we were about 8 years old.
Some real stuff. Yeah.
That's my best friend. Like that's like my sister, Winter, I've known for a long time through the NFL world. The thing people don't understand about the NFL world is once you're a part of the NFL wives and girlfriends, you're always a part of it. There are women we're going through things, dating or married to guys that don't experience a lot that most men experience given their profession. It's definitely like it's unique. It's unique. So I can have NFL friends, NFL wife friends who I haven't talked to in 10 years. Any one of them reaches out and calls me, it's like we pick right up and just know, like, I'm here for you, girl. I've had a friend who I haven't talked to in years called me bawling, crying, just going through stuff. And she's like, I'm calling you because I know you'll understand what I'm going through. So it's one of those situations. So
I get that.
Yes.
It's like a community.
It's a community. So I know her from the community of the NFL Wives and Girlfriends Association. I made that very clear when I was promoting the show. I made it very clear during the show and in confessionals that everybody on this show, I don't know these people. Tasha is the only person who I actually had an actual friendship with out of everybody on the show, Tasha Lyons. So when I brought everyone together, I kept just hammering the point that we're getting to know each other at the same time that the audience is getting to know us.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. The main thing that I stressed to Carlos when we did this show and we were doing the casting, I said, I do not want to fake to the audience like any of us know each other like that. I want them to understand, because you see that so much on Housewives. It's like these imaginary friendships that just exist. Bam, once we start filming, we got to act like we knew each other. I ain't know none of them chicks when I was on Housewives of Potomac when I first came to the show. Did not know none of them, met them while we were filming in scene. So with this show, I wanted it to be very genuine, and I wanted people to be able to grow and watch the friendships develop as we were filming. And that's what happened. I didn't know that there was commentary that would lead people to believe that my relationship with Winter was any different than my relationship with Ashley or with Arena, I didn't know about those conversations. And when I found out about them, I addressed them. So even just the whole like conversations about, oh, when me and Mo went out and we talked as girlfriends do. First of all, nobody calls me Mo. All my friends call me Moni. And then I'm like, we've never talked as girlfriends. The first time that I've ever went out to lunch one on one with Winter was when y'all saw that scene in
Oh
the show.
wow. Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of assumptions. People assumed that I knew all that was to deal with Winter because of the whole fact that I'm like, oh, this is my friend. I've known her for what, 14, 15, 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they're assuming that I know her in that capacity, but I did not. I only knew her in the capacity of being a life coach and relationship coach. So whenever we did engage, it was because I actually reached out to her in 2020 during the quarantine. And I said, hey, I'm doing season 3 of my podcast. I would love for you to tell your story because on her Instagram you can see all that she does, and she speaks to people, encourages people. I did a series called Love After Divorce, so I said I would love if you come on and share your story. She shared her story. She was incredible, telling us everything that she went through, and then how she had found new love with Kevin. So once we started casting for
Mm.
the show, I said, oh,
Wow.
Winter and Kevin would be perfect. So I put her name into the hat with everybody else's. So yeah, so we've never hung out. We've never talked outside of the show or that podcast conversation. Everything was very social, like with everybody else. So when people said, oh, you brought Winter to the show so that you can have this drama, I had no idea that all this drama would ensue because I brought Winter to the show to share the same story that she shared on my podcast, which was what she went through with her ex-husband and how she was able to find love, which turned into another situation that she shared throughout the whole season about
Yes.
her now divorced husband. So it was just a lot because I didn't want that fraudulent storyline that you would typically get with housewives where it's like, oh yeah, we're friends and we've known each other and we hang out all the time. I'm like, no, none of us knew each other that way. The same way I brought Ashley, I brought Arena, I brought Winter, and I brought Tasha. And Tasha's the only person that I actually hung out with several times. Her family and my family are very close. Her daughter, I love her daughter. Like me and her daughter will like hang out. Her daughter comes over and we hang out. She's helped me with Mila
That's the
Essentials.
real stuff. Yeah.
So that's the only real relationship that I've had with anybody that was on the show. Everybody else was very much social.
Okay. Uh, as far as wow, that pretty much explained everything, and I understand what you're saying. No, it did bringing her on there, but after the reunion and all that stuff was going on as far as her and Arena and all this, because it seemed like even on the reunion, you were just like, girl, I didn't know your whole face was almost like, girl, I didn't know you was doing, I didn't know any of this. Your face was genuine to me, where it was like she had no idea that it was
I
gonna be
was
like this.
I was shocked. Honestly, I didn't know that she was witty. I didn't know she had the clapbacks. I didn't know that she was funny. I didn't know any of that because I've only ever seen her in a professional setting. So I was like shocked looking at her. And the thing was, I didn't really witness a lot of the sass that the
Okay.
other ladies witnessed. So
Mhm.
every scene, the shock on my face.
Yes, you was looking
So
like
right. So even when Winter and I had that lunch, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, Raina did this, Ashley did this. So in my head, I'm like, I've never seen them like that. So now I'm shocked. Then when I get to Ashley and Raina, they're telling me about Winter, and I'm looking at them like,
mhm.
what? I've never seen her like that. It was like I was like the ball, and it was ping pong like this.
Yes. Do you speaking of the conversation between you and Arena and Ashley, do you think that it was messy or good to go back and tell them about the names, the red light special, and all the snack size, all that mess?
It was
Because
a
it was
combination of messy doing my job and also making
mm,
sure that the air was
good
clear
answer.
so that nothing would ever come out later once the show airs.
Oh, good
I know how
answer.
reality TV works. If you say something on camera, everybody's gonna know. You know what I'm saying? So at
Yep.
that point, if I'm trying to forge a friendship with Winter and the other ladies and the couples, and then fast forward, we're now watching the season unfold. And now they're seeing everything else that wasn't told. They're gonna be looking at me like, hold on. Why were you pressed to have us be friends with somebody who was saying this, that, and the other about our husbands?
Mm,
That ain't right. Now I'm gonna be in a hot seat. I am not about to carry the burden of somebody else's mess. So I was like, you know what? Whatever, put it out there. But then I also told Winter that that I told them. Initially, I wasn't going to do it. Initially, I was like, that's gonna be messy. I ain't getting near that. But then later on, once I did decide to tell them for my own reasons, I did tell Winter. I said, look, I told them the nicknames, and then that's when she told me, oh yeah, I know. Arena, went off on me. I was hoping I could talk to her before Raina, but that didn't happen. So it is what it is. I That was definitely a messy moment for me. But I own it. And I owned it to
Love
Winter.
it. I ain't gonna lie.
So what you want me to do? Like
I
get on my
love it. I love it. Me, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. Because I probably would have reacted the same way. I'm not gonna lie, for the same reasons. People are putting these memes out here and they're saying they feel like, and it's mostly Winter fans. I feel like that she carried the show, which I, not biased, but I don't agree with that. But they feel like she carried the show. Her coming in, bro, all this, pop, 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 whatever, whatever. How do you feel about that? Because you was part of the show, and I don't feel like she carried the show.
I feel like everybody carried their own. That's one thing that I was
Mm,
excited about with this show is because everybody did their part. People were open and vulnerable with what they were going through, with their marriages, with their families, with their businesses. What they choose to air on the show is not up to us. So there was a choice
yeah,
made to make a lot of the end of the season about the drama between Winter and the other ladies. That was a choice that wasn't necessary. It wasn't like there wasn't anything else to show. That was a choice that was made by people outside of the cast.
yeah.
There was a lot of other things that happened that could have been seen that were more reflective of love and marriage,
Hmm.
but that was a choice and we had nothing to do with that choice. So I can see how people would say that, but we don't have any power over what's shown. We know what we filmed, and we filmed some really amazing, deep stuff that dealt with what we were going through in our marriages. A lot of that was overshadowed by all of the drama between the ladies, which was unfortunate because we had a lot of substance that was shown. A lot of the scenes I felt you only saw a glimpse of what some of the issues were, and we could have sat in those scenes a little longer. Those could have been more episodes. And quite frankly, I think when it comes down to it is that we just didn't have enough episodes. We should have had, excuse me, we should have had double.
I
You
agree.
so if we would have had double the episodes, y'all would have seen a lot more, and people would probably have different views as to what their overall conclusion would be on who carried the show. But the drama that happened between Winter, Ashley, and Arena was chosen to be, out in the forefront for most of the show. But all of us had scenes with our businesses. I had
Yes.
scenes with Mila Eve packing my orders because I do a lot of the stuff myself. My mom actually moved from Florida up here to help me to expand Mila Eve Essentials. We actually met
Love
with
it.
businesses to get the products
Okay.
in stores.
Hmm.
We filmed all that, some of
Oh,
the
I don't love to sing that.
I would have loved to as well.
Oh my God.
Arena has her boutique. They have their real estate. She has her credit
Hmm.
repair company.
Hmm.
Ashley has not only Fun Time Moms, her podcast, she has her book that she was working on, which we did get
Yep.
to see. And
Yes,
she
we
has
did.
Fashion Ashton, which is her daughter's clothing line
Hmm.
in boutique stores. So we all had a lot of stuff that we were doing. And unfortunately, we just didn't have enough episodes to really showcase everything.
And see, people like me, I would have loved to seen that because, like I said, as you know, I do my own stuff hand by hand, and I just think that I don't know. I just wish I could have shown a little more of that. And it is what it is, like you say. But I'm gonna say this now: watching it, whether you're a fan or whatever, I feel like that you guys were strong black couples on TV, and I almost said all the time in my panel, I said I don't think they could handle seeing that because couples argue they had disagreements, but I just kind of feel like is that something really really new that y'all just could not deal with seeing? It wasn't like a bunch of drama. It was like drama, yes, but like the way they came to you and Chris. Do you feel like that? Because you opened yourself, I feel like you opened yourself to us, your relationship and everything, and all
Mhm.
the negative comments that came at you about it. Now I'm a dark complected black woman. I feel like it was a little colorism because they're just making like, oh, she's just so hard on him. He didn't give Chris a chance no matter what. I want you to speak on that because I have my own opinion about it being a dark skinned black woman where I feel like if she was lighter skinned would have been different response.
You know what? I didn't even think of it from that perspective. I more so was looking at the fact that nobody knew what we were arguing about.
Yeah.
Like, let's think about it. All y'all see is us arguing, and then you see me responding, but you didn't see Chris say anything. You didn't hear his perspective on what we were even talking about. Nobody knew what the hell we was talking about. So all you're seeing is my reaction, and you're seeing me in my most heated moment of the argument. And then there was no other context. So I get why people had to express things the way they expressed it, because if I had not been a part of the show and I'm actually watching everything unfold, I would have the same thoughts as everybody that was viewing those scenes. But me, I'm looking at it like, no, but I know what really happened. I know what was really said to me. I know why I
Editing.
felt this way. I
Hmm.
know, but they didn't show it. A lot of what was shown, in my opinion, was definitely in the favor of Chris. And a lot of times you heard his perspective versus my perspective. We would do a scene, then it would jump to Chris. I don't know what to do to please her. It's like anything I do isn't good enough. Well, if he says
Yeah.
that in confessional, everybody that's watching the show is automatically going to now think, oh, everything Chris does isn't good for Monique. That's put in your head. But that wasn't really what the case was. Chris knows exactly what my issues are and were with him in those moments. But if you don't say what those issues are, if you don't say what it is that you're doing or not doing, everybody that's watching the show is going to believe what you're saying, which is, oh, she's not she's not being pleased by anything he does. He's trying. Also, when Chris made the statement, when I told him that I was complaining about him to the girls, first of all, he responded and said, "You always bashing me." If the audience hears this man say, "You're always bashing me," then they're going to think, "Oh, she must have been bashing him." Well, let's
Mm.
think about this. When they cut to the scene of me supposedly bashing him, they show me saying that I want a deeper connection with my husband. I want more depth from him. How is that bashing? If they had a scene of me bashing him, don't you think they would have showed it?
Yes.
Okay. So it's
Yes.
all wordplay. So you better believe if they ever seen me bashing Chris, they would have showed me bashing Chris.
100%.
I don't bash him. I don't talk bad about him to people. The only thing that I was expressing to a room full of married women was that I want a deeper connection with my husband. I feel like we're not connecting. I feel like we have this wall between us right now, and I can't figure out how to tear it down. I'm doing my personal growth journey, and it's time for him to do his. I can't keep doing all the work, so it's like, especially at the moment where I'm going into doing radio, where I'm up at 4 a.m., leaving my
Right.
house at 5,
Mm.
and I'm working, and I'm not home to help him with the morning shift. So mind you, this whole narrative of Chris being a stay-at-home dad, like he's home by himself for 8 to 10 hours with the kids, is not true. I'm home from work at 10:30. My nanny's here at 11, and she's here till 6:30. So he's home with the kids for 2.5 hours tops. So he gets help. He gets a lot of help. All I was asking for was to establish a routine, because our kids were going crazy. They're used to mommy being home, setting the tone of the day, and they weren't getting that.
100%.
So
Hmm.
I'm asking him to step up to the plate. I'm like, Chris, I can't do this by myself. You're saying you support me, then I need you to actually support me, not just say you're supporting me. And supporting me is us establishing a balance between how our house functions. It can't just be me doing all of it all the time, and I'm getting up at 4 a.m. My day ain't ending until like 10 o'clock at night. Who can survive functioning that way? So it was those type of marital issues that we had, that we were talking through. My delivery could have been a lot better, considering, especially if I would have known that they were only going to show when I was heated and I'm
Hmm.
loud, and not show the beginning where I started out very calm, then I probably would have tried to stay calm the whole time. But hindsight is always 2020, and honestly, I'm not going to be fake, so I'm going to show you how Chris and I have conversations. But you only saw me conversing. You did not see Chris conversing. All you saw was Chris saying, "I'm going to work on it. I got to improve." Um, and those are just words. So it's the women out there who get it, got it. I have a lot of women coming up to me saying, "Oh my God, I am you in my marriage," and I get it. So there's a lot of people that's critical. Most of those people aren't even married, so they don't know. They just want a man. Hello. I don't know if I'm frozen. I'm not frozen. You're frozen. Uh-oh. Oh shoot. Wait for Kamisha to hop back on. I'm assuming I'm still here. All right, y'all. We gotta wait for Kamisha to come back on. Are y'all do y'all still see me or am I frozen? Am I still live? Can y'all see me? You still see me? Okay, let's just wait for Kamisha to come back on, y'all. Be patient, please. I appreciate it. I forgot the
Oh Lord, thank you.
oh, there we go. I
My
knew it's a matter of time. She'll hop back in.
yes, my son, they're doing that game mess, and oh my God, I'm so
Oh no,
sorry.
I was still going. They could still see and hear me. I don't know if you
Okay,
heard
perfect,
what I was
perfect,
saying,
perfect.
but
Oh
yeah,
Lord,
I was going in, girl.
look, and I heard and I was like, look, I was ready to chime in. I was like, look, this is what I was gonna say. I feel like that as far as reality TV, black women, I preach this a lot, and I say that they do edits, and this is no shade to nobody, but they do edits where we do look like the angry black woman. That's why I was saying that would it have been different if it was a different color. I'm not saying I know you didn't look at it that way, but I was because I constantly see it in reality TV. That I
Mhm.
would have loved to hear the other end of the conversation, not just. I do want to hear of course, what you're saying, but I want to hear it. Didn't seem like it was just all like that. I didn't take it that way. I saw
Right.
the comments. That's why I wanted to ask you, but I was like, would have been different if she was lighter complected.
Yeah,
Colorism
you
still
know what?
exists.
I would love to get to a place where we could stop with the angry black woman conversation because
Yes.
at the end of the day, people need to realize that everybody expresses themselves different.
Mm-hmm.
And for black women, we just happen to be very passionate. We move our head, we shake our necks, we do all of this, that, and the other because that's how we do. That's how we are. And it's not angry. It is what
I
it
agree.
is. Like our delivery is what it is. And we're very strong. We are very strong. We endure a lot. We take on a lot. We watch people copy us, copy our
Hmm.
bodies, and then shame us, shame our bodies, copy our hair, then shame our hair, copy our lips,
Yes.
then shame our lips. We deal with so much. So we doing all of this and all of that, and we doing all of that. We deserve to do all of that.
I understand. Look, the whole head thing, the copying, I see it every day, even in the world outside of in the blogging community, and I also see it outside when I go to work. So I deal with it constantly, and just I don't know. It is what it is. Do you think that being on the show helped or hurt your marriage?
Oh, it definitely helped it. It definitely
Mm,
helped it. Looking back, so for instance, I'll give you a prime example. A lot of times when you're on reality TV. So if you're a person like me, I'm always trying to find my lesson, right? I don't look at anything as a failure. I don't look at anything as a mistake. I look at it as a learning lesson. So for me, I'm able to speed up my personal growth process because I can actually see myself. Now, granted, it's an edited version of the reality, but still, I'm still able to see myself, how I move, how I flow. And I can point out things that I know I need to work on. So there was a moment where Chris was trying to compliment me and also express his love for me. But before he actually complimented me, he said a bunch of negative things. And
mm.
then, as he said these negative things, then he said, but I love her and she's my wife and she's good at this and she's good at that and she's good at this and she's good at that. And I was like, I stopped I stopped and paused it and I showed it to Chris and I said, this is what I've been talking about for years. I've been saying to him for years. I'm like, stop comparing yourself with the worst. Stop tearing the person down, then to build them up. Just build them up. So once I
100%.
played it for him and let him see how he complimented me in his way, where it was like, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Now, build her up. I was like, why do you do that? I said, you would point out every negative about me in order to give me a compliment. I'm like, that, like, why?
Mm.
And once he saw that, he was like, wow, I never realized how much I do that. And he said, you're right. I do that all the time with everything, not just with me. He does it all the time. So once he saw that in himself, he was able to make some changes and able to step back and change how he views things and not be so negative. And it's
That's
things that
beautiful.
I've been saying to him for a long time. I'm like, Chris, you are so negative. Like, be more optimistic, be more positive. But since he was able to see himself, he was able to make that adjustment finally. So it definitely helped. It helped both of us, you know. He could see my frustration. He could see that I've been trying and trying and trying for years. He could see that I've been putting all of my energy, all of my love into our marriage, into our household, and he can see where he needed to make some changes on his part so that I don't have to carry the load all the time by myself. It's not fair.
It's not. And again, I'm happy that you are speaking out about this. Like I said, women feel like I feel like are supposed to be quiet and not say anything if they feel some type of way.
Hmm.
And if you are loud about it, you're angry or you're aggressive. Somebody said in the chat that was Marcella saying that they called Ashley angry and aggressive. Is it true? I mean, that's just a adjective that they really put on us, and that's really unfortunate. You went to Africa with your family, which I thought was beautiful. I'm happy they showed that, but I wanted to ask, what was the benefits of you going with your family? And I guess I would say, would you go again?
Oh, yes. I mean, when I tell you it was quite the experience, there was no way I could travel to the motherland for the first time and not have the whole family there. So
Mm.
it was an experience for all of us. We didn't go with any help. It was just me, Chris, and our three kids. I had worked on this trip for 6 months, planning everything out, figuring out even what to wear. We were going on safari. And when you go on safari, you have to have a certain weight limit with each bag, and also certain colors that you had to wear, you know.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Mm.
because black and blue attracts mosquitoes. So you don't want to wear black and blue. You don't want to wear denim. You don't want to wear any kind of blue.
Wait a minute.
Black.
I live in Texas where mosquitoes are big as my head. Did you say what colors again? Let me write this down because
Yeah, after the sun starts setting,
uh-huh.
black and blue. That's what attracts mosquitoes.
Wow.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes. I guess they
Okay.
want that melanin, honey.
Baby. Let me
So
tell
yes,
you.
that's what they're attracted to. So those colors we were told to avoid packing.
Hmm.
So it was more like neutral tones, and that was like, woo. I have a video of all of these boxes because we had went out of town before we went to Africa as well, before we went to Kenya. And you would be tripping if you saw how many boxes I had to order stuff and then go through all of these clothes and shoes and everything with the kids and then send all of the stuff back that didn't work out. It was a bedroom full of
Of
boxes
clothes.
everywhere. It's
Wow.
crazy. But it was a lot of planning and prep, and then being strategic because we had a weight limit. My husband is 6'6". His clothes, his jeans weigh 5 pounds.
Okay.
And our
Gee.
weight limit was like 30 pounds per bag. So yeah, we had to be very strategic. So
Oh wow.
oh my God, packing and
I'm
unpacking, all of
like,
that. It was a lot. It was a lot, but it was well
it
worth
sounds like it.
it was well worth it. The kids really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was just amazing, and definitely will be going back. I'm actually going to Egypt on a study tour
Mhm.
um in December, and I'm actually going by myself for this because this one
Okay.
it's a backpacking trip, and it's actually a study tour where we're learning about the different monuments, pyramids, and everything else. There's certain books that we're required to read before the tour starts. And then once we go, it's nothing glamorous at all about it. It's just
Okay.
backpacking, you know, on the bus, going wherever we got to go. We'll be in Luxor, Cairo, and a few other places. So that is going to be incredible. As soon as I told my kids it's not a luxury trip, it's backpack, and they were just like, "Oh, okay, we'll go next time as a family."
Ah, look, well, so that could be a you time. It's gonna be getting to know Monique again.
Yes,
Probably is what
yes,
self everything. That sounds like a beautiful thing. I'm gonna
absolutely.
ask you this final question. Well, it's kind of a maybe two together, but next season, do we have next season coming? Do we have the green light?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another season. I felt like
100%.
I felt like the season went great, you know.
It did.
Yeah, I would like to see more love and marriage. But you know, I would like to see what the show's about. You know, I felt like there was so many incredible family scenes that weren't shown,
Hmm.
that could have been shown.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want people to think that just because it's reality TV, it has to be all messy. Like
I think
I
I
really want,
agree.
yeah, like we can focus on the excellence of it all, and I feel like there's an audience for that.
Yes, Blake, excellence. So there is a little bit of a rumor going around that actually Tasha will not be back next season. That there's gonna be a new couple coming in from another TV show on Ready to Love. I don't know if you know anything about it, but that's the tea that's out there.
No, so Tasha and Neil are friends of the show. They're my
Hmm.
actual friends.
Hmm.
And we've actually blossomed into a family unit. Like we
Okay.
have a whole group text, all of us be on, clowning, laughing. We see each other often. We talk darn near every day. So the thing about these shows is who's on the show is because who's on the show.
Mm.
Like nobody has the power to exit anybody off. It's about who's actually friends that's actually doing things together. The invitations are real.
I
So
got you saying.
it's
Yes.
yeah. So there's no way anybody's going to exit anybody off. If anything, they're going to exit themselves off. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we're always going to look for more couples that we can add to the show. We see it with Huntsville. Like there was a point where it was just the three couples, and now you have Destiny, and now you have
Yes.
Tiffany, and now you have the new young lady with the beauty line. What's her name? She's so funny. What was Melanie's friend?
Yes. I
Yeah,
don't. I
Melanie.
don't. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't.
Oh, sorry.
I don't do. I don't. I
Her
mean, to
name
be
slipped
right.
up. Stormy. I'm like
Okay.
her name
Oh, I
just
know
slipped my
Stormy.
mind.
Yeah. I know Stormy. Yeah. I
I love
got you. I got you.
Stormy, but you see how the show just keeps growing and expanding, and that's what we would
Yes.
want for the show is to grow and expand. But we don't have to exit anybody to do that.
Tasha and Neil, from what I saw, and we was talking about on the panel. We actually wanted to see more of Tasha. If you look at my panel, we talked about in the past. We but at
Yes,
the times that we saw them, we enjoyed, and that's what I see. Even in the chat, they're talking about it. Um,
yes,
it was positive stuff as far as seeing them on there. But it would be cool to have them on there and add more, like you say. So the more the merrier. But I really hope there is a season two. Everyone's already speaking it into existence.
yes,
Manifest. I love manifesting that
yes.
we will have a season two because season one was fire. Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, it was. So I enjoyed talking about it. My panel loved talking about it. Bloggers, we going crazy over it. So yeah, the rumors are gonna fly. I just thought I would say it that they know me. I keep it very
Yeah,
straight up.
yeah. No, I ain't got no problem with it. Shoot, you'll be giving me information that I don't know because a lot of times I'm like literally I'm up since 4. I'm nonstop all throughout the day. So a lot of times I don't even keep up with everything that's happening and in the social media world. So it's nice to know
Gotcha.
what's being said and what's going on. But yeah, I mean, we look forward to finding couples that maybe they add something else to the show. They don't have to be full time, but they
Hmm.
could be couples that are mutual friends with somebody, and you never know
Oh,
what
okay.
happens. The
Mhm.
same way when Winter came onto the show, she literally came just to do a panel discussion. The first episode. Um,
Mm.
Melody was initially supposed to be our guest, but because of conflict with the calendar schedule, and we couldn't change the date of the pop-up event, I reached out to Winter because I knew that I wanted her on the show because of the dynamic with her and Kevin
Yeah, right.
together. And I felt like even though they were separating, there are a lot of people out here who are going through divorce. So
Yes,
I felt like,
ma'am.
yes, I felt like even though her and Kevin weren't together anymore, I felt like she would still have a powerful story to share that people could relate to. So and she ended up being a huge part of season 1. So you never know what'll happen and what will shift, and you never know how times will change. But one thing I do know about reality TV, it has to keep going. Don't nobody want to talk
Yes.
about season 1 drama in season 2. So it's not about just your one season and you come out and you're strong. That has to be consistent all the time. And you have to bring more than just one aspect of yourself. If you're only bringing just drama, that's going to phase out real quick. It's like when you
Say
go on
it
a
again.
first date and you're sitting down and you're looking at this handsome man and you're like, oh, you look real good. Then you have a conversation and you say, all right, what more do you have to offer? If they ain't got much more to offer, then that date's gonna be done and you ain't gonna call them no more. So at the end of the day, you have to bring more
Bars.
than just one aspect of who you are. You got to keep showing yourself, and the audience got to keep learning something new about you every time.
I loved it. That was some bars, y'all. That was some bars. She just dropped it. Like, I mean, that's everything because people do think that that's all they got to bring, and that's it. We do want to see more depth. We do want to see more of the family dynamic of the show. We do want to see the couple and everything. So I'm hoping they're listening, and we're
Yes,
gonna
and
see that next season.
let me say this. Season one is always the easiest season in reality TV. My very first season was the easiest season when I was on RHOP because I'm naive to it all. I don't really know everything that's going on. I'm just being me and I'm not guarded. I ain't got no walls up because I don't know any of the tactics. So anybody can do a season one and be amazing. Season two is always the roughest season because now the audience has a good idea of who you are or who they think you are. And now you got to show and grow and reveal something new every episode after that. Everybody's second season is usually tough because now they're feeling like I gotta do more. I gotta do more. And if you do too much, the audience is gonna look at you like, you fake, you fake. I don't believe
I
it.
agree.
Or you have this wall up, or you're guarded. So you have to figure out how to continue to be who you are, especially that second season, and not care about what the audience has said about you in the first season because it always changes.
Speaking, I'm sorry, just real quick. Did any of them from the Potomac say anything about the new season? Congratulations, anything?
Oh yeah, Ashley and
Okay.
Karen, those are my boos. So yeah, we
Okay,
talked.
good.
I talked to Karen a couple weeks ago, so we're gonna be hooking up for lunch soon. But
All
yeah,
right.
Ashley reaches out often. That's my babe. So
That's
yeah, everything's
good.
good. I've been fortunate to maintain a sisterly bond with those two. And the love is mutual, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, I want to say thank you again for coming on. Like I said, grace my platform with your presence. I really appreciate the
Yes.
support of Black women in this industry, bloggers or whatever, is a real thing.
Mhm.
So I want to say thank you. I know you have things you got to take care of yourself. So guys, again, make sure you check out all of her social media. Demita has pretty much shown all of her links in this chat. I will have everything in the description. I've also been showing it also up here on the screen for you guys to check it out. Her essential oils, her podcast. Again, I appreciate you coming on, Mama, and I want to say goodbye, everybody, and thank you for watching. The end.